Here is the hardest rule in physics. You are handed one substance, a single kind of stuff, and told that everything must be made of it, not added to it. Light made of it, the electron made of it, gravity the color of a hot coal made of it. No second ingredient is ever coming, so before you can write a single law, you have to answer a stranger question: what can that one substance even be? One thing before we begin. Advaita Chakra Theory is a speculative, exploratory framework, not established, peer-reviewed physics. Much of what follows is honest conjecture that still needs validation. Watch it in that spirit as ideas to test, argue with, and refute. The word Advaita means non-dual, one substance, no second thing. That single idea is a brutal constraint. It forbids you from ever reaching for a new ingredient. Every particle, every force, spacetime itself has to show up later as a ripple or a knot of the one field, never as a fresh field bolted on. So the whole game starts with a Goldilocks problem. Guess the substance too simple, and it can't even move. Guess it too rich, and you've secretly smuggled in the very variety you were supposed to explain. We need the least structure one piece of stuff can carry and still hold a world. 3 suspects. Suspect 1, a plain number at each point, a real valued field. Rule it out. A number has a special value 0, a built-in here is the bottom, and a preferred value is a second thing, a background. Non-duality forbids it. Suspect 2, a simple switch, up or down, an Ising spin. It has no special value good, but it can't turn. No rotation, no gentle motion, no soft mode, and without a soft mode there's no light later, dead. Suspect 3, an angle, a phase that lives on a circle, with a little spin to make it turn. Every angle on the same footing, and it moves. It survives. The circle is the minimal non-dual carrier, and a wheel that spins is exactly what chakra means. Give the angle its spin and you get the oldest quantum relationship there is. The angle and its spin don't commute, measure one and you blur the other, and because the angle lives on a circle, the spin can only take whole number values. Not because we demand it, because a wave that wraps around a circle has to meet itself. One turn, back where you started. That single-valuedness forces the spin to be an integer. A wave drawn around a circle, meeting itself smoothly. A counter ticks 2 10 12 equals I. The letter 2 1 2 4, the axiom with on letter 2 1 2 4. The standard consequence here is the quiet part that matters enormously later. This is a quantum rotor, not a classical one. A classical spinning gas, heated up, would glow with infinite ultraviolet light, the catastrophe that broke 19th century physics. A quantum rotor lattice glows with Planck's law instead, automatically. That whole result, 11 chapters from now, rests on this one bracket being an axiom. One bare angle per point would give you electromagnetism and nothing else, one wave, one light, no matter. So the substrate is a touch richer at each site. A small bundle of these rotors share one central shaft, a core, a ring, and a few auxiliary wheels. Count them, and you get C equals NC plus 2 channels per site. That internal crowd is the seed of everything a single wheel couldn't hold: matter, the gauge charges, the mass hierarchy. Now the only law we get to write the energy. Non-duality and locality allow exactly 3 kinds of term, and no more. 1. The cost of spinning, kinetic energy. 2 neighbors want to line up a stiffness, call it J3 on each site. The wheels want to lock to their shaft, a locking, call it K. That's the entire rulebook of the universe on one line. One number decides everything. Is the locking K bigger than the stiffness J? When locking wins, the wheels snap to their shafts, and the whole crowd at each site collapses to a single phase. That locked world is our vacuum, the physical ground state, and it hides a gift. Because locking only cares about differences, you can turn every wheel by the same angle for free. That one costless, uniform sway, the all one's direction, is a mode that can never gain mass. It is the theory's guaranteed massless particle. It is, though we can't prove it yet, the seed of light itself. Everything we've done condenses into 5 promises, and we spend nothing else in the entire book. 1. The substrate runs deterministically and reversibly, no dice. 2. The rotors are quantum. 3. It's local on a lattice with a smallest length, and that smallest length forces a single energy scale, ELV4. The ground state is locked with that one protected massless mode. 5. The only genuinely epistemic one, typicality, coarse things take their most likely values. 5 axioms. The rest of the book is what follows. The axioms are definitions, so the only number this chapter can hand you is that one scale. Put the smallest length near the limits the sky already sets, and ELV lands around 10 to the 16 gigaelectron volts, a whisker below the grand unification scale, climbing toward the Planck energy. enormous. So enormous that any single experiment has no hope, which is exactly why, much later, we hunt for it correlated across sectors instead. 2 honest cracks in the floor. Is 5 really minimal? And is typicality, axiom 5, something we could one day prove instead of assume? Both are open and we mark them rather than hide them. That's the verdict: 1 substance, 1 wheel, 1 energy, 5 axioms, and not 1 ingredient more. Nothing has been derived on purpose. Next door in chapter 2, the ground starts to move, that all one sway becomes the master equation of the whole theory, and the first real derivation, the speed of light from a lattice, begins. A word of acknowledgement. This work was inspired in part by the non-dual teachings of Sri Narayana Guru, that the creator, the creation, and the substance of creation are fundamentally one. Symbols from the Hindu tradition, the Sudarshan chakra and the Shivalinga, suggested the analogies behind the chakra model. They are acknowledged as philosophical and symbolic inspiration. The physics stands on its own. Thank you for watching. If this made you think, the book and the next chapter are linked below. Until then, 1 substance and how far it reaches.